Stop using good. Here are 7 better options in context. I'm going to share examples to show you how to use these alternatives, which are much more interesting. If you don't know me very well, hi, how is everything? I'm Teacher Prix, and I'm going to help you talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime in English. So consider subscribing if you're interested. There's always a different kind of English lesson to help you on your journey to fluency. So I appreciate you being part of this community. Now, that being said, the first thing you need to understand is you gotta pay attention to the context. The context is king, okay? One word will not fit all situations. So the 7 words I'm going to share with you, they cannot be used in the same situation. That's why I'm going to show you examples to help you better understand how to use these options. And another important point I want to highlight here right at the beginning, there's nothing wrong with good. Good is a good word. You can use it. But if you want to advance, if you want to sound more polished, it may be a better idea, an interesting idea to consider learning options. And that's what I want to do for you here in this video. So check it out. So that being said, the first word is delightful, okay? Now, if we look at the meaning of the word delightful, delightful means very pleasant. And what happens to English learners? In lack of what word to say, when they are not sure of what word to say, they resort to the most basic word. And good is a very versatile word. It can fit many different situations. So a situation where it would be interesting to say very pleasant, many students use good. And even I have to be careful because as I am a teacher and I am constantly teaching English, giving lessons, I sometimes opt for the easiest, most convenient option. So whenever you feel like you want to give the idea of very pleasant, you can use very pleasant. Or you could say delightful. And I'm going to show you some examples to help you understand that instead of using good, you could use delightful. So how was your last weekend? Ah, Teacher Prix, it was very good. It was delightful, Teacher Prix. I did so many wonderful things. I was going to say good. I did so many wonderful things. Wonderful is a good option, okay? So how was your last weekend? Oh, Priscilla, it was delightful. I did nothing. And that was delightful? Absolutely. I didn't have to work. I didn't have to do anything but relax. That was delightful. Another example, how was the meal? Maybe you're having lunch, you're having breakfast, and someone asks, so how's the meal? Oh, delightful. Instead of saying very good, you can say delightful. Very, very common context. The examples I'm bringing to you are examples that I bring from movies, TV shows, conversations in general. So they are very popular collocations. That's why I'm showing you these examples to make it easier for you to associate good and these options, all right? What do you think of going to the park this afternoon? Huh? What do you think of going to the park this afternoon? Sounds good. Oh, sounds delightful. So instead of saying sounds good, which is, guys, no problems with the word good, but instead of opting for good, why not say, oh, sounds delightful. Yeah, we should definitely go. It's such a beautiful day outside. Let's do this afternoon. All right? I had a delightful day. How about you? You could say, oh, I had a good day. No problems. Oh, Priscilla, but when we are at the store and people say, have a nice day, should I change to delightful? No, because it's a common collocation. It all boils down to the situation. At a store, at a coffee shop, the person assisting you will definitely say, have a nice day. Have a good day. Have a great day. No problems. But in conversations, that's my main point here, guys. When you're making conversation, when you're talking to your manager, let's say you have a meeting, a Zoom meeting, okay? You have a Zoom meeting and the first thing you have to say, before starting a meeting is to make small talk before getting started. And then your boss, hey, so how was your last weekend? Oh, it was delightful. Yeah? That's much better. But in certain situations, good will be an excellent option. So that's what you need to keep in mind. I just went to this delightful restaurant downtown. They offer a wonderful environment with live music and welcoming staff. Oh, that was wonderful. Great. So I went to a delightful restaurant. So these are options. Now let's go to the second option here. Superb. Superb. It means excellent. It means of very good quality. Again, in many conversations, we tend to go to the easy option, and very good is wonderful, is a very good option. But instead of saying very good, why not using superb? And I will show you some examples, okay? Let me see here. That concert was superb. What would people say? Oh, that concert was amazing, no problems. The concert was wonderful, no problems. That concert was very good, no problems. But how about expanding your vocabulary and saying, oh, the concert was superb. I had such a wonderful time. That's great. You've done a superb job. Priscilla, Teacher Prix, you've done a superb job. That's why I'm smashing that like button. And I went all the way to the end. I don't know why I did that. Okay, so let's see. Okay, I have read a superb book on how to speak more articulately. That's wonderful. So it is an option. Superb. A superb option, I must add. I really enjoy using superb. That being said, number 3, outstanding, extremely good, excellent. So you see, outstanding, it's a little bit more than good. It's extremely good. Superb, very good. And these are all things we say as non-native speakers. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just want to emphasize that there are interesting options out there. So let's look at some examples. She had an outstanding performance. That movie was outstanding. Fantastic. I could say fantastic. I could say fantastic. Guys, the number of options we have in the English language when it comes to vocabulary is endless, just like any language. So what I'm trying to do here is to expand your horizons. Let's see if I have another example here. I think so. Alex is an outstanding detective. Oh, but teacher, I don't know any detective. Well, teacher, Priscilla is an outstanding teacher. John is an outstanding dentist. My father is an outstanding doctor. My sister is an outstanding director. You name it. Use the job you want. It's limitless. My grades, I like this example. My grades weren't necessarily outstanding in school, but I still managed to become successful. I saw an interview with a guy saying something of the sort. The beginning was that, okay, my grades weren't necessarily outstanding in school. He said high school. But I still managed to become a success. He said success, okay? He became a success. He became a successful entrepreneur. But his grades weren't necessarily good, weren't necessarily outstanding. Really good, excellent. Piece of advice. You don't need to be outstanding in school. You need to have an open mind. That being said, number 4, terrific. I love terrific. It's terrific. It's very good. It's great. It's excellent. So here again, I am changing the options here. So I can use very good. I can use great. But how about using terrific? And that's what I want to point out here. There are so many options, and these are not extremely complicated words, especially if you pay attention to the examples I am sharing with you. They are everyday examples that we find in casual conversations. Linda is such a terrific friend. What would people immediately say? Oh, Linda is such a good friend, which is fine. But how about using a different word? Oh, Linda is a terrific friend. I can always count on her. She's good to me. No problems. But here is an option. You are terrific with numbers. Did you know that? So maybe you're talking to your friend and they're talking about numbers. This friend is talking about numbers, and then you pause for a moment and then you highlight that special skill. You know what, Peter? You are terrific with numbers. Did you know that? What would people say instead of terrific? Oh, you're really good with numbers. Did you know that? So instead of saying you are really good with numbers, Why not say, oh, wow, you're terrific with numbers. Did you know that? Oh, I didn't. Am I? Am I terrific with numbers? That's not my case. I suck with numbers. I am terrible at it. I cannot succeed without a calculator. I mean, I can do basic math, but that's about it. You look terrific. Oh man, you look good. Can I say you look good? Yes, of course you can. But how about saying, hey, you look terrific? Nice job. Nice going. We have terrific parks around here. This is actually true in São Paulo. I live in São Paulo, and there are terrific parks. Excellent parks. Very good parks. Great parks. You got this. Next one, fine. Now, I like the word fine because it has multiple uses. Okay, it's wonderful. I really like the word fine. And depending on the context, fine is not a good word. And depending on the context, fine is a superb word. And here is a case where depending on how you use the word fine, it is an excellent choice. So fine means very good depending on the situation, and not in all situations, all right? I'm making that very clear. Very good, high quality. So look at the examples I'm going to share. Fernanda Torres, Brazilian actress. Fernanda Torres is a fine actress. She deserved that Oscar. Well, we had the awards, right, last weekend. I think it was last weekend, like 2 weeks ago. And Fernanda Torres was nominated for Best Actress. Unfortunately, she didn't win. But the way I see it, she is a fine actress who deserved that Oscar. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. But it's okay. You know, that's life. Just because she didn't win doesn't mean she's not qualified. She's actually outstanding. There you go. So another example. Linda seems to be a fine person for the job. So let's say I am analyzing candidates for a job, for a position in my company. Then I have Linda's resume, I have Peter's resume, and I have John's resume. So I'm talking to my colleagues, and then someone says, you know what, Linda seems to be a fine person for this job. What do you think, Priscilla? Well, I have to agree with you. She may be the best candidate after all. So let's call her for another meeting, for another interview. Fantastic. Options. Take the time to understand them. You have done a fine job. You should be proud of yourself. You've done a fine job. You've done a very good job. You've done a high quality job. That's actually what I'm saying. You've done a very good job. You've done a fine job. You should be proud. You should be proud of yourself. Congratulations. You got this. I was a fine employee. So when you hear someone saying that, it's not a bad word. It's actually a very good word because it means I was a very good, high quality. I was a fine employee and still didn't get the treatment I deserved. That's why I quit. True story. To many people, maybe not watching this lesson, but many people go through this. They are fine employees, and yet they don't get the treatment, the recognition they deserve. And many of them end up quitting their jobs because they don't receive the appreciation they deserve because they're fine employees. They're good quality employees. They're very good. They're extremely competent, and yet they don't receive the recognition they deserve. Shame. Enriching. This is the one that gets a little out of the scope of very good, but I feel like it's such an underappreciated word. I feel like people should be using this word more in their repertoire, in their conversations. So take the time to create an example with enriching. There are some popular collocations with enriching experience, enriching trip, enriching idea. These are such popular combos with the word enriching. And oftentimes, we resort to very good experience, very good idea, very good trip. But how about changing the repertoire? And if you're paying attention at this moment, post one example in the comments with this word. Because enriching means it's an increased enjoyment or appreciation, okay? It means it was a very rich that allowed you to have a lot of enjoyment and appreciation depending on the context. So look at the examples to make that very clear. Living abroad is an enriching experience. It is an experience of increased enjoyment, increased pleasure, increased appreciation, and growth. So that is all of that. It's not just simply, oh, it's very good. I could say, oh, it's very good. No problems. But how about enriching your vocabulary, improving, increasing the quality? That's enriching. That's the idea of enriching. So living abroad is a very enriching experience. I had an enriching vacation last year. That's not true, okay? This is just an example. Unfortunately, I cannot afford such a long trip at this point in my life. I had an enriching vacation last year. I visited 10 different countries in 30 days. That is usually the case when you go to Europe. There are so many small countries, one next to the other, which allows for someone to visit so many countries at once. But this is just an example, I'm afraid. I don't think I'll be doing such a vacation anytime soon. 30 days is too much. I can't afford a 30-day vacation. And it's not just money, but the time. You know, I have work to do. I have my students in my academy to take care of. 30 days is a long time, man. I'm good. I'm good. I prefer 10 days, 12 days. I feel more comfortable. I feel more at ease when I go on a 10-day vacation, 7-day vacation. That is my comfort zone there. I don't feel so comfortable going on a 30-day vacation. That's too much for me. That's too long. Now, and the last one is splendid. Splendid means excellent. It means very good. So you're doing a splendid job watching this video until the end. I appreciate you giving me the time, okay, to watch this lesson until the end. So it's splendid. You made a splendid effort to be here. So making a splendid effort. Good. You made good effort, okay? You made splendid effort to be here, and I appreciate it. That's a splendid idea. Instead of saying, that's a good idea, which is fine, you can say, oh, that's a good idea. That's a very good idea. That's a great idea. That's a splendid idea. I had a splendid time with my friends last weekend. Very good. Wonderful. This will be a splendid opportunity for you to practice your English. What splendid opportunity, Teacher Prix? Okay, what are you going to do? You're going to pick your favorite and you're going to post one example. That is all I'm going to ask from you today. Other than that, if you enjoyed this lesson and you found it useful, share with someone you care about. Other than that, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!